The relationship between Israel and Iran is a complex tapestry woven with threads of historical grievances, ideological clashes, and strategic rivalries. To comprehend the depth of their enmity, one must journey back in time, even before the establishment of the Israeli state in 1948. During World War II, Iran, then ruled by the Shah, became a crucial supply route for the Allied forces, including nascent Jewish organizations seeking to establish a homeland in Palestine. This cooperation, however, did not translate into a lasting bond. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War further strained relations, with Iran expressing sympathy for the Palestinian cause. While Iran did not directly participate in the war, it refused to recognize Israel diplomatically. Despite the underlying tensions, Iran, under the Shah's rule, maintained a pragmatic relationship with Israel, driven by shared security concerns and economic interests. This period of relative calm, however, proved to be short-lived. The year 1979 marked a seismic shift in the Middle East and irrevocably altered the course of Israel-Iran relations. The Iranian Revolution, led by Ayatollah Khomeini, toppled the pro-Western Shah and established an Islamic republic fundamentally opposed to Israel's existence. Khomeini's revolutionary ideology viewed Israel as an illegitimate entity, a cancerous tumor that needed to be removed. This stance resonated deeply within the Iranian populace, fueling anti-Israel sentiment and transforming the relationship from one of pragmatic coexistence to outright hostility. One of the first acts of the new Iranian regime was to sever all ties with Israel, withdrawing its recognition and ending diplomatic relations. The revolution also ignited a wave of Islamic fervor across the region, emboldening anti-Israel groups and setting the stage for future conflicts. The 1979 revolution was not merely a political upheaval. It was a clash of ideologies, a fundamental realignment of alliances, and the genesis of the deep-seated animosity that continues to define the Israel-Iran relationship today. At the heart of the Israel-Iran conflict lies a profound ideological chasm. Iran's enmity towards Israel is deeply rooted in religious convictions and a worldview that views Israel's existence as fundamentally illegitimate. The Islamic Republic's founding principles, as espoused by Ayatollah Khomeini, reject the very notion of a Jewish state in the Middle East. Iran views Israel as a vestige of Western colonialism, an artificial entity imposed upon the Muslim world. This ideological stance is further reinforced by Iran's unwavering support for the Palestinian cause. Iran considers itself a champion of the oppressed, and the Palestinian struggle against Israel is seen as a microcosm of a broader struggle against Western imperialism. Iran's unwavering support for groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, which are designated as terrorist organizations by many Western countries, underscores its commitment to confronting Israel. For Iran, these groups are not terrorists, but rather resistance movements fighting against an occupying force. From Israel's perspective, Iran poses a multifaceted existential threat. Iran's stated goal is the annihilation of the Jewish state. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah fuels this threat. Adding to this is Iran's pursuit of nuclear capabilities. Israel fears Iran's nuclear ambitions and adopts a proactive security doctrine. The Israel-Iran conflict extends far beyond their own borders, playing out in a complex web of proxy wars and regional instability. Hezbollah, a powerful Shia militant group based in Lebanon, has become a central player in this shadowy conflict, created with Iranian support in the 1980s. Hezbollah serves as Iran's most potent proxy force, waging a relentless campaign against Israel. Hezbollah possesses a vast arsenal of rockets and missiles, capable of striking deep inside Israeli territory. Iran provides Hezbollah with substantial financial, military and logistical support, effectively using it as a proxy army to bleed Israel and project Iranian influence in the region. Hezbollah's attacks on Israel often provoke swift and devastating Israeli retaliation, further fueling the cycle of violence. The presence of Hezbollah in Lebanon, a country bordering Israel, creates a constant security threat for Israel and adds another layer of complexity to the conflict. Hezbollah's deep entrenchment in Lebanese society makes it difficult for Israel to target the group without causing significant civilian casualties and further destabilizing the region. The Israel-Iran conflict is also defined by a delicate balance of military power, with both countries possessing formidable capabilities that heighten the stakes of any potential confrontation. Israel, despite its small size, boasts one of the most technologically advanced militaries in the world. Israel's air force is considered to be among the most sophisticated, equipped with advanced fighter jets, drones, and precision-guided munitions. Israel also possesses a nuclear arsenal, though it maintains a policy of nuclear ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying its existence. Iran, while lagging behind Israel in technological sophistication, compensates with sheer size and a vast arsenal of ballistic missiles. Iran's missile program, capable of reaching targets across the Middle East, is a source of significant concern for Israel and its allies. Iran has also developed a network of allied militias and proxy forces across the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and various Shia militias in Iraq and Syria. These groups, armed and funded by Iran, extend Iran's reach and pose a significant asymmetric threat to Israel. The Israel-Iran conflict is not a static confrontation, but rather a dynamic and evolving struggle, punctuated by periods of heightened tension and open warfare. Recent years have witnessed a surge in such clashes, raising fears of a wider regional conflagration. Israel has conducted numerous airstrikes targeting Iranian military assets and allied militias in Syria, aiming to prevent Iran from establishing a permanent military presence there. These strikes have often triggered retaliatory attacks from Iranian-backed forces, further escalating tensions. In 2021, tensions flared in the maritime domain, with Israel and Iran engaging in a series of tit-for-tat attacks on each other's ships. These incidents highlighted the vulnerability of maritime trade routes and the potential for the conflict to disrupt global energy markets. The ongoing conflict has had a devastating impact on civilians in the region, particularly in Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria. Indiscriminate rocket fire from Gaza and Lebanon has killed and injured Israeli civilians, while Israeli airstrikes have caused significant civilian casualties in Gaza and Syria. The Israel-Iran conflict reverberates globally, drawing in world powers and shaping international relations. The United States, Israel's staunchest ally, imposes sanctions on Iran and provides military support to Israel. Russia, a key player in Syria, maintains ties with both Israel and Iran. The international community condemns Iran's nuclear ambitions and calls for a diplomatic resolution. The EU, critical of Israel's policies, also expresses concern over Iran's nuclear program. Predicting the future trajectory of the Israel-Iran conflict is a perilous endeavor, fraught with uncertainties and potential for miscalculation. The situation remains highly volatile, with both sides seemingly entrenched in their positions and unwilling to back down. The risk of escalation remains high. A miscalculation, a provocation, or an unforeseen incident could easily ignite a wider conflict with potentially catastrophic consequences for the region and beyond. The presence of nuclear weapons in the hands of one of the protagonists adds a chilling dimension to this equation. Despite the grim outlook, there are glimmers of hope. Both sides have occasionally shown a willingness to engage in back-channel diplomacy and explore avenues for de-escalation. The 2015 nuclear deal, while flawed and ultimately abandoned by the Trump administration, demonstrated that a negotiated settlement is not entirely inconceivable. The international community has a vital role to play in preventing further escalation and fostering a climate conducive to dialogue. Sustained diplomatic pressure on Iran, coupled with credible security guarantees for Israel, is essential to break the current impasse. The path towards lasting peace between Israel and Iran is fraught with obstacles, yet diplomacy remains the only viable option. Addressing root causes and building trust is essential. Reviving the 2015 nuclear deal could de-escalate tensions. The deal provided a framework for addressing nuclear concerns. Addressing Iran's security concerns is crucial. Iran feels threatened by US and Israeli military presence. Providing security guarantees could reduce tensions. Facilitating dialogue is essential to build trust. The Israel-Iran conflict is a multifaceted and deeply entrenched struggle with no easy solutions. Rooted in historical grievances, ideological clashes, and strategic rivalries, it has defied decades of diplomatic efforts and continues to cast a long shadow over the Middle East. The pursuit of peace, however elusive, remains the only viable option to prevent further bloodshed and regional instability. A lasting solution